Today I'm gonna rate from 1 to 10 all the abilities on Carlos Alcaraz's forehand. I'm sure you've heard many times of some player that has a great forehand or a weak backhand. Well, that's a very simple way to put it, and I would even say too simple of a statement. That's the reason why I decided to break down the shots of the champions in many different abilities and rate them for you. Today, we're talking about Carlos Alcaraz's forehand, which is clearly a master shot. First, his ability to change direction. I give him a 10 out of 10. Carlos is perfectly comfortable hitting all the zones with his forehand. His cross-court forehand is deadly, and he loves to take the ball early and go down the line, and he does it perfectly. His accuracy, 8 out of 10. Alcaraz's forehand accuracy is very good, but his power and top speed are so huge that it's enough to win the point with margin without having to be too accurate. Change of pace, 10 out of 10. This is a trademark for Carlos' forehand. The Spaniard tends to hit with depth and a lot of spin until he suddenly decides to accelerate and hit full power. Change of pace is huge. Counterpunching, 7 out of 10. If there is one situation when he's not fully comfortable hitting his forehand, it is when his opponent takes time away from him and rushes him. Because Carlos is a puncher and not a counterpuncher, he's not as efficient as other players, and especially on the forehand side, when the opponent gives a lot of pace. When he has time to prepare, he can go full power. When the ball comes fast to him, a bit less. That's why when he plays, for example, Sinner, and Sinner plays extremely fast on both sides, and especially directs this pace to his forehand, he cannot answer with the same power as he can do when he has a player who plays a bit slower. Ball heaviness, 9 out of 10. The power and the quality of Carlos' spin makes his forehand extremely heavy and his ball tough to control. Why not 10? Because I think that a guy is better than him at that, and I will name Rafael Nadal. Generating pace, 10 out of 10. Carlos is not a counterpuncher. He's a puncher, and he doesn't need pace to generate his own. He creates it. Movement on the forehand, 8 out of 10. 2 years ago, this was his weakness. When Carlos was moved to his forehand side, he would miss more often and play shorter. He has improved a lot in this aspect. When he beat Stefanos Tsitsipas at the US Open in 2021, I thought that Stefanos didn't move him often enough on his forehand. He played the backhand too much, because that was a weakness at that time. In 2022 Australian Open, Carlos loses to Berrettini, and Berrettini moves him constantly to his forehand. That was a weakness. He worked a lot on it. Today, it's not anymore. Since this has been corrected in his game, he became a completely different player, reached out #1 in the world, and won his first Grand Slam. Solid under stress, 8 out of 10. Sometimes on his forehand, he can lose control and the ball can escape, but most of the time, he relies a lot on this shot when he's under stress. Passing shot and lob, 10 out of 10. Alcaraz is a master in both lob and passing shots on his forehand side. Touch, 10 out of 10. The master of the drop shot. And even more of a master on the forehand side than on the backhand side. His special shot, the drop shot with a side spin that drags the opponent off the court, is incredible at that. I don't think there is any player on tour at the moment that hits better drop shots than Carlos Alcaraz. Total, 90 out of 100. That's huge. As you understand, a shot is a lot of different parameters. Someone can hit winners, but it's also what he can do in a lot of different situations. When I gave to Novak's backhand 85 out of 100, I thought that nobody's gonna beat that because it's extremely high. 90 out of 100, it's incredible. When I'm gonna rate the other players, let's see if any other shot of any other player can beat 90 out of 100. But I doubt it. Of course, it's subjective. It's just my opinion. Now, if you have a different opinion, feel free to share, put it in your comments, give your grades, and explain why.